Okay guys, here is our wing, and we've got our ply cap installed there, and we've got the wing mounting rods installed and everything. So I went ahead and did this one just to kind of get a feel for it, and now I'll show you how we're going to build the second one. So anyways, the very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to cut that guy out. That's our wing cap. So anyways, I made a video earlier and I'll go ahead and show you that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and cut out the caps for our wing. I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife here, so I'll go ahead and speed this part up so it doesn't take forever. Okay, there we go, and I'm gonna sand the edges and get it smooth, and then I gotta figure out where the wing mounting holes go so that that's all lined up correct. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand this down, and I'll meet you at the next step. Okay, once you're all done, you will end up with something that looks a little like this. I don't care too much about the edges not being nice right now, because once this gets epoxied onto the wing, then we'll go ahead and sand it smooth and fix any imperfections. So if you're wondering how I got the holes, basically all I did was measured once our wing mounts here were installed into the fuselage side. I just took calipers and then measured the distance from the leading edge back, and then just a halfway point, put a little X there, and then just drilled it out. Same thing on the back there. So anyways, I've gotten pretty lucky so far, and they always end up coming out just right, so must be doing something right. The other thing you want to make sure to do is be sure to epoxy in the carbon fiber rod into your mounting blocks there that will go into the wings. I didn't do that, I don't know how many videos ago when I first showed you guys this, but anyways, they are glued now, so we're ready to roll. So anyways, basically we are going to be putting on the left wing, and we're going to use 30-minute epoxy because we need lots of time to make sure everything lines up. This particular wing, I test fitted it, and if you remember from the last video, I said that it needed to come down a little bit. I think what it actually was is it droops a little in the back there, and so I think once we lift that up, it'll straighten everything out. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some epoxy and get going on the next video here. So I'll try to guide you through the entire process here. Okay guys, I got my 30-minute epoxy mixed up. Make sure that you mix up enough to really get going here. I made the mistake on the last wing and had to mix up another batch right in the middle there. One thing that I learned from the last time go around is I'm going to go ahead and put some epoxy on this wing cap prior to the installation here. It's just going to save some headache later on. I'm just going to put a nice even thin coat. Okay, that piece is ready to go. Also going to put a thin coat on our wing mounting blocks. Hey, just a little power hint here, something that I've learned. Glass top tables, absolutely awesome. I glued the three sides of the wing mount blocks here, and I can rest it right on this glass table, and I don't have to worry about it sticking or anything like that. So anyways, the next thing that we're going to take a look at is I'm going to very generously coat the inside of the where the wing mount blocks go. So right there and right there. I put micro balloons in here to thicken this up a bit, so we just don't want any voids inside. Okay, now we're going to put along the edge there a little bit more, just a real thin coat. Okay, now we're going to put the last side here, put some glue on there, and try to use up the last of our epoxy. I actually would like this to gush out when I put this in, so I want to make sure there's a lot. Alright, just like that. You see it gushing out? We want that. Alright, now I'm going to tape this on to hold that flat. Alright, so there we go, we've got this on. We've got it taped up so that the cap is flush against the edge of the wing there, and since we put so much epoxy in there, these tend to want to float out. So the next step now is we need to go ahead and mount it onto the airplane. Make sure that these are all lined up. These are all lined up here. I'm going to real quick wipe this off with some alcohol so that we don't actually glue it into the plane right now. Well, we don't ever want to glue it into the plane, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the next step. Okay, we're going to put the wing in now. Alright, so there it is mounted. Pretty much what I need to do now is this trailing edge needs to come up just like that. I don't know if you can see that on the video or not, but see, it's like that right now. It actually needs to come up just about to there. So I'm going to devise a way to make that happen, and I'm just going to let it sit here and dry. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay gang, here we are underneath the F-16. So how did we fix that wing problem that we had going on? Well, we have a toolbox and we have an Allen wrench set. And on top of the wing, we have a shoebox full of old phones. Since nobody uses phones anymore, everything is cell phones these days. And that brings our wingtip here, or not our wingtip, but our wing root, right to where it needs to be. You probably can't tell very easily on the video, but this is actually just the plywood piece. It's the lip. That'll be sanded smooth, so it'll line up with the fuselage there. And then on the wingtip, we've got some CA activator there to hold it down where it needs to be. So how do we know how to line this up? Basically, you're supposed to rest a straight edge on the back of the plane there, butt it up against the fuselage there. And then when you come down here like this, that should line up with that wing, which it does, and line up with that wing, which it does. So we're looking pretty good. So let me know what you think, and on the next video we'll sand down that plywood piece and start glassing the wings. It's actually getting kind of exciting, so I don't know if everybody realizes this or not, but we are on the finishing stages now. I think we're done with all of our main pieces, and everything going forward will be like basically mounting servos and finishing the cockpit, airlines, prepping the fuselage for paint. So we are on the home stretch. I'm taking a vacation next week, so I'm hoping to be able to put some time into this and really get it done. And I think I've come up with the fundage for the StuMax engine, so I should be able to get that. I won't be able to get it in time for the vacation, but I should have that money here in a few days. So we are on the final stages. So everybody clap, yay! One-handed clap there. All right, see you on the next vid.